Happy Saturday, and welcome to the Rama from Satsang Weekend Workshop, where you'll learn a modern Satsang method for obtaining peace, light, and love in your life. My name is Eddie, and I will be introducing the facilitator for today's event. But first, I'd like to give you a brief overview of this weekend workshop. If you direct your attention towards your screen, you'll see the first element is Satsang. Satsang is a scientific method whereby we may obtain peace, light, and love in our life. It requires no physical skill, spiritual accomplishment, or meditation experience to begin its practice. Satsang consists of two words, Sat and Sang. Sat means positive energy, and Sang means to be with or to be in the presence of. Therefore, the word Satsang means to be in the presence of positive energy. The next element is meditation. Meditation is an important part of Satsang. When we meditate, we withdraw consciousness from worldly objects and direct it inwards to focus on a single thought. In doing so, our minds become calm and our thoughts become pure, thereby allowing us to obtain higher states of consciousness, such as enlightenment, peace, light, and love. Inner orientation. There are two types of satsang, inner satsang and outer satsang. An example of outer satsang would be chanting or attending pilgrimages. When we practice outer satsang, we have the potential to change our behavior, but only through the practice of inner satsang can we obtain higher states of consciousness, such as enlightenment, peace, light, and love. The satsang that you will learn today is an inner satsang where we meditate in silence. Group session. These weekend workshops are structured for group participation. When we meditate as a group, our focus is improved and our personal progress along our spiritual path is expedited. By regularly attending these weekend workshops, the benefits of group participation are amplified. Joy and inner happiness. All beings wish to experience joy. Joy is the eternal longing of the soul, but only through the practice of inner satsang can we obtain higher states of consciousness, such as enlightenment, peace, light, and love. Each time we practice inner satsang, our inner happiness gradually increases, ultimately culminating in a state of joy, which we experience 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The agenda for today consists of 3 sessions: the informative session, the practice session, and the interactive session. During the informative session, a lecture will be given about a satsang topic, the founder, or some relevant spiritual topic. During the practice session, you'll receive instructions on how to meditate, followed by a period of practice. During the interactive session, you have the opportunity to ask questions, or there'll be a panel discussion. And now, I'd like to introduce the facilitator for today's event. He has over 40 years of satsang experience. He's the grandson of Guru Maharaj, the founder of Ramashram Satsang. He was born into a satsang family where he experienced his family members obtain states of enlightenment and lead lives of peace, light, and love. At an early age, he began traveling with the mission throughout India, facilitating satsangs. And during that time, he witnessed the positive effects that satsang could have on mankind. And upon arriving to the United States, both he and his wife continued to facilitate satsangs for local satsangees. He has led teams of satsang members and in translating important literature into English and has worked tirelessly to make satsang more accessible to Western and English-speaking audiences. He currently travels throughout the United States, India, and England, facilitating satsangs while maintaining his duties as a husband, a father, and an IT executive. Today, he will teach us a rare and ancient form of satsang as taught by Guru Maharaj. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Sanjeev Kumarji.
Happy Saturday, everyone. Glad we are here. Today, it's a full moon day. This particular full moon, it's supposed to as the scriptures in India talk about, like how Lord Krishna danced with all the gopis together. And what it depicts is basically at the very top of the spiritual pyramid, which we haven't talked about, recently. And Yuan, if you could bring that up, what happens is you can describe certain spiritual states through certain stories, and what happens is that as you vertically ascend, there are various milestones that you get. And in one of the old scriptures, which I also found in some of the recent text, you can divide your vertical ascent in sometimes in 3 steps, sometimes in 5 steps, depends on how granular you want to go. And I have also been thinking that I think I'm thinking about creating 3 tiers of the sessions that we have. So the first one is for people who just want to come in, meditate, completely non-denominational, which it ought to be. And you get all the health benefits, which there's plenty of literature on the internet. And that is the tier 1. But then tier 2 is where you need to connect with your faith, your belief, more integrally. And this process would enhance that. So while in tier 2, there is no, get to the realm of mind, which is where primarily this process starts or focuses. So we have to concentrate, we have to focus, but what do we focus on? We focus on the, as we have those who have been here, we talk about connecting to transcendental energy in form of light. But the question I always get is, what is, how do I visualize that? How do I connect that? How do I feel the presence? Which is all important. You need to connect, you need to orient towards it, you need to feel the presence. So how do you do that? And that is where the belief system, the faith, is like, feel there is this consciousness which transcends the world. And that consciousness is here and now in form of light. And so now you, in tier 2, you would enhance your own faith, you will connect better, you get deeper into it. And this process would then make you a better Christian, a better Hindu, a better Muslim, a better, and the list goes on and on. So that's how satsang was designed and, implemented, that on tier 1, you come in, you meditate, you get all the benefits, primarily physical benefits. Then on tier 2, you just enhance your faith, your belief, your connection. And then tier 3 is where, you know, the concept of guru comes in, which not everyone needs to go to, but this provides a whole philosophy, you know, ability to bring, you know, a new level of connection, more in terms of that consciousness is manifested in a person, and that person, you know, is now becoming, you know, your connection to the consciousness. So tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. Tier 1 is completely, you know, get the benefits of meditation. Tier 2 is you become a better believer, better, you know, at your faith. And the third one is where the goal is to transcend the religions and belief systems and ideologies and take a whole next level. And the thing is, like, as I have seen it throughout, you know, my practice, nobody asks you to even, you know, say you want to be in tier 1, 2, or 3, but it always existed. And depending on your need and where you want to be and how you connect with this transcendental energy, just differs. So it's the same process, but how you come into it, how you connect with it, how you practice it changes. That's all. So now going back to this depiction of love. So, you know, on this day, it's said to be that, you know, Lord Krishna was dancing with everyone together, like, and so what that is that when we all sit in meditation, we all have this energy and we all are resonating with this transcendental energy. And that is the top of this pyramid. So when, you know, the monkey mind goes away, when the, you know, the differences we have dissolve, because when I close my eyes, who I am, where I am, you know, where I fit into this world, all that dissolves, and this inner, you know, inner world kind of takes over. But when I pour this transcendental energy into my inner world, there is a new light. There is, in that light, I find new connections with nature, with other conscious beings, and myself. So that is when, you know, at the top of that is when you are dancing with this transcendental energy. And, you know, it's just the distances fade away, and you just become one with that energy. So that's a depiction in the scriptures, but what we practice here is just exactly that. So more on these tiers and how we will start describing these tears will eventually come. But let's practice this. Our goal is that we feel the connection, we feel the presence, we feel that transcendental energy in form of light is right here, right now, with us, and that light is entering our heart, enlightening our heart, and then that light is getting distributed throughout our body. So in that process, what we're seeing is that, the inner and outer world is all filled up with this transcendental energy, and we're completely and totally getting immersed in this. So that is our object of concentration. And what we do is, before we get into it, this inward orientation is important. So we sit in a relaxed posture, eyes lightly closed. This just helps the inward orientation. And then we, get to our object of concentration, excuse me, which is this transcendental energy in form of light. That light is entering our heart, distributing throughout our body, and we are becoming one with this light. Now mind wanders away, which it will, and, don't fight with it, just observe your mind, and you will find that slowly, your object of concentration, what you're trying to manifest, becomes more and more real. But mind wanders away. Once you realize mind has wandered away, you just bring it back. That's another step, another process of inward orientation, and think of this transcendental light that's in front of you, that's entering your heart, distributing throughout your body, and that you're becoming one with this light. And that leads to deeper meditation. And we start with music that helps the concentration. Then music fades away, and we get into deeper meditation, which then leads to higher consciousness. Let's start now. Happy Saturday, everyone. So I was talking about these three tiers. I wanted to get some feedback. So the first one, um, I'm calling it Dhyan Shivir, which is meditation camp. So introduction to a unique meditation technique. Anyone can do it, pure and simple meditation with no strings attached. So that is, I mean, the idea is like, for example, yoga, asanas and pranayams, everyone is doing it. Yoga is a huge philosophical system with so many variations, and so many significant methods and techniques that take you all the way to yoga, which is to be one with the transcendental energy, which is satsang, which is sat, and sang, which is also to be one with transcendental energy. And but asanas and pranayams give you very specific, benefits. And I have started asanas and pranayams myself because, putting them into your lifestyle helps you in so many ways to lead a healthier, be more healthy. The second tier I'm talking about is upasana kriya, which is taking it beyond meditation to connection with your own belief system. This process will make you a better Hindu, better Christian, better Buddhist, a better Muslim, a BYOB, bring your own belief system, a diverse community that believes in peaceful, enlightened, and selfless coexistence, which I think is depleting from this world anyway. So a very, I think it'll be a higher road that we all ought to take for ourselves and for our fellow beings. But then tier 3 is Guru Mahatmya, which is satsang. So when people used to come and meet Guru Maharaj, he wouldn't ask, in terms of either geographically, economically, or spiritually or religiously, where you are, who you are, and all that. It's like, just come, learn, you like it, stay. Otherwise, continue your journey. But this tier 3 provides you a modern belief system that transcends religion and believes in spiritual guidance that makes better human beings. So that is what Guru Maharaj and his guru work towards: living with purpose, living with higher consciousness, in spiritual guidance in a spiritual community, an augmented belief system that can coexist with your core beliefs, as it is not a prescriptive system, but offers concepts that complements or augments or enhances your core beliefs. So I'll pause there. That's what I'm thinking about, is like these 3 tiers always existed within this system. And, for all these 40 years that I've been practicing, 40 or so years, it's integral. But what I was thinking is like, divvy it up in, because to have a deeper practice at either of those tiers, we need to develop, content around it, practice what the to-dos and don'ts and all that. So that's what I'm thinking. So and I'll, I have to attend another session at 11, so I have 10 minutes. But I'll leave the, conversation open. So Yuan, if you leave, I think Bhanu, you're there, right? You could be the host. But anyway, or maybe Apurva, you can be the host. So I have to start with someone. So Luz, how about you? Happy Saturday.
Saturday, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy to join you. I know some of these Saturdays I haven't been able to, and it's always a pleasure to join you. I really found your interesting, the 3 tiers, the sort of the yoga camp, and then the bring your own spirituality, and then sort of transcendence of that, but still kind of coexisting with it. Very interesting. Not sure what kind of feedback you want, but just the way I'm interacting with that concept, like it's interesting. I've done a variation of each throughout my life, I've the yoga camp, and they haven't always, my spiritual belief system doesn't derive from the yoga, the same spiritual belief system that gave rise to yoga, but yet I've been doing it since my early 20s, which is like 20 years ago now. Right. So I've done this, and I feel like it's helped. And then bringing my own belief system, I've had my own journey on that, and that's actually really helped me to progress spiritually. But then the coexistence and the transcendence, I don't know that I reach that frequently. I'm not sure that that's like an easy thing to reach, but I do try to at least incorporate that, to live by universal principles that are definitely reflected in my spiritual practices and my faith, but are absolutely reflected in others. And just so there is sort of like this general understanding, or sort of like what we're all striving for. Each faith it's there, it exists above all of them, and I agree with that. I guess I'm trying to wrap my head around how the 3 interrelate, or because I've tried to do each 3, but I'm still kind of grappling with like, well, are they some sort of progression, or are they just sort of connected to each other linearly? How does this, what are you, I'm just, kind of thinking about that.
But see, once you get to the point, say, where you are, you kind of in each of those spaces in its own way. And that's how I have been. But what I was thinking was to bring people with diverse background. Some come here with no idea of what meditation is. And then there are all these advanced practitioners. And then there are people who are struggling to visualize this light, and then, the monkey mind, and there is all these variations. And, sometimes you have a strong belief system, and that becomes your source of this transcendental energy. But then there are people I've found, like, I want to connect with someone who manifests that energy and makes me feel grounded in that energy. So it's all of the above, but I'm just kind of thinking that have these 3 tiers, and these sessions differ in the content and style a little bit. and bring people to, I mean, it's like essentially the same process, but described differently or even practice slightly differently, to just bring people to the next level of their practice or inculcate this into their lifestyle more easily.
So sort of mutually beneficially supporting each other, these three.
Right. But you could also have a community around tier one, which doesn't bother with some of the other nuances. I'm just thinking out loud at this point.
Yeah, that makes sense, actually. I'll leave it to others on the floor to opine on that, but
Yeah, I have 5 more minutes. So any other thoughts, questions, comments?
Happy Saturday, everyone.
Right.
I think it's a intriguing to perform this exercise or experiment, but I think sort of from what I'm seeing is you're kind of almost discussing 3 subtypes of people in the third realm. Because if I look at the personalities of people in the first realm who have strong material desires and little empathy for others, I look at the state of mind of such an individual and I ask myself, are they capable of sitting for 20 minutes? You know, is the mind capable of being calm for that period of time?
So pause for a moment there. And I think that, some of those people do workouts, some of those people, do yoga, Pilates, and, other things. And my thinking is that if there is interest, they could try to sit for those 15 minutes and see if that works for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's worth a try. I mean, nothing stays the same in consciousness and is an evolutionary process. And so people will change. And so maybe they're at this stage now where they can engage in quiet meditation. But I know that's going to be a little bit of a challenge at that level, that first level.
Can I jump in for a second?
Sure.
Is it worth encouraging it? Because I know that, for example, for my mother, she can't sit still for very long, but I encouraged meditation. She's one of these people, she can't do that. 20 minutes is not possible with her, but I encouraged a little bit of meditation and she really enjoyed it. She felt that it was a pleasure once she was able to kind of cultivate it a little bit at 10 minutes, 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But even such a small amount of time is still helpful.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
Yeah, I would agree with that as well. 5 minutes would be a very good place to start.
Yep. So, yeah, any other thoughts, questions, comments? And I think once we design these, sessions around various tiers, we could give it a try and see if this helps or not. But I mean, essentially, it's the same process. So Omkar or Shivangi, any comment?
Yeah, namaste. I was just enjoying in a very relaxed mood at this point of time. Very good to see you. And today's session, the whole the discourse was really good, and I would like to hear that again and again. That is very relevant in today's time, and I really like the terminology. Bring your own belief system. That is awesome.
Yeah. I mean, that's what essentially they didn't use it, you know, some of these terms, but since day one, I have had that's what I heard, you know, enhance your connectivity with this transcendental energy. So to me, God is everywhere because this transcendental energy or consciousness is, you know, is in everything and everywhere. All right. So yeah, I have to join another session. So we'll see you all next week. Thanks for being here. Thanks for such a lovely session today. And love, light, and peace be with you. See you all soon. The link remains the same. Time remains the same. Yeah. Bye, Jeff, Taru,
Thank you, Sanjeev ji.
Eddie, Omkar, Shivangi.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Bye.
Apurva, Poonamji, Ajita.